All right, guys, welcome back to the Quaking Punch. My name is Mark. Sorry that the video is going up really late today. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do for today's video and how I wanted to structure the channel going forward. I think one thing that we're going to do is Mondays is going to be like deck profile Mondays. We're just going to show off a deck, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe Fridays, we'll play the deck. The reason I want to do this is because I want to get your guys' input on the deck before we test it. Anyway, I'll put the deck out to you guys on Monday. You give me feedback. I'll take some, I'll leave some, whatever. And then we'll go from there on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We'll play the deck out, and then I'll make more changes throughout the week if it needs changes. Which, to be honest with you, when you're building decks, they always do. Now, to start off with this new way of doing things, there was a deck I did on channel already a couple weeks ago that I just didn't like how it performed, so I made some changes because there's a couple matchups that the deck doesn't have well, and I think I kind of fixed those issues that we were having. And the deck that I'm looking at here is Garchomp. Now, hear me out here, guys. I know it didn't do too well, but I kind of made some changes, and I think with the right partner, Garchomp can be good, and that partner is Garbodor. The reason why I like Garbodor with Garchomp is, one, you're not a deck that really relies on abilities. Also, you're a deck that kind of loses to Greninja, like, all the time. So I feel like Garbodor is a really good partner for Garchomp. So just to go over the deck, now with this deck, we are going to run Shaman, because if you have Garbodor up, Octillery is not going to do anything for you. So we're going to run Shaman. I only chose to run one. If you think I should run more, let me know. There's a couple of cards in here we could kind of give or take to add more Shaman in, but I think one for now is fine. Still the 4-2-4 Gabite Garchomp line. I still think that's the best way to go about it in this deck. Two Gaibles, because you can, manually evolve if you have to. If you have a couple Gaibles on the bench, or Garchomps going, you can make plays where you can manually evolve one turn, rare candy that turn, and then manually evolve again and have multiple Garchomps going. So that's something that can help you out there. One Hawlucha, it's still a great card in this deck. You can hit a EX Pokemon pretty hard for one energy. Plus, it gets free retreat. It's nice. And we're running a 2-2 of the Garbodor line with the Garbotoxin. In case you're wondering what Garbodor does, if it has a tool card attached to it, each Pokemon on play, hand, and discard has no abilities. So it's really nice to have. So a couple things that I want your input on. One being Level Ball and Ultra Ball. Right now I'm running 4 Level Ball, 2 Ultra Ball. Maybe we might want to flip it to 4 Ultra Ball, 2 Level Ball, because we got to seek out the Garbodors, and it can help grab Garchomps and things like that. So that's definitely something to let me know about. But with running a heavy Karina count, maybe that doesn't matter, because we can always Karina for the fighting Pokemon we need, and then if we need an Ultra Ball, we can get an Ultra Ball. If we need a Level Ball for more Pokemon, we get a Level Ball, we can get the Float Stones. So Karina is your main supporter there. 4 rare candies for the instant up to Garchomp. 1 Sacred Ash, just to kind of recycle some of the Garchomp line if you lose it, or the Garbodor line if you lose one. One card I'm not really sold on, but it's kind of helped out a little bit, is Professor's Letter. You can search your deck for up to 2 basic energy cards, reveal them, and put them in your hand. Shuffle your deck afterwards. It's really, really nice for... and if you don't have any energy and you can Karina to your Professor's Letter, it really helps. 1 Lysander, 4 Versus Seeker, 4 Trainer's Mail for searching out things like your Focus Sashes or your Float Stones. If you remember Focus Sash in the last video, if it has full HP, if it gets knocked out in 1 hit, instead it becomes 10 and you discard Focus Sash. So really making them take 2-hit knockouts on your Garchomp is nice, because Garchomp will 2-hit KO, or not, if not 1-hit KO, most things in the game. And then we play 2 Sycamore, 2 Fighting Stadium, and that's about it. Now, the one card I'm not really sold on is Fighting Stadium. The reason I included it is because if you can't hit the strong energy, you can still take knockouts on Pokemon EX. So, with that being said, I think it kind of has a place in this deck. I'm not really sure. That's just one I just kind of included in there. And then we went 4-5 energy split on the energies here. So, I mean, basically what you're looking for here is just to start getting going really fast with the Garchomps, get your Garbodor set up quick, and then hopefully shut down abilities, and then, because you don't rely on abilities in this deck outside of Shaman and Hawlucha. If you take Hawlucha's ability away, it can actually help you out. You could any damage your Pokemon's attack isn't affected by weakness or resistance. Now, the only thing I'm worried about with this deck here is consistency. There's just not a lot of those consistency cards to help you draw. Um, that is something I do worry about with this deck. Um, but I mean, you still have your trainer's mail, and you have all your balls here, so maybe, just maybe, it'll be okay. I've only tested it a couple times. I do plan on taking it to League this week to see how it does there. So we'll see how it does at League. But let me know what you guys think in the comments, either down below, on the Facebook page. Which, if you're not a fan of the Facebook page, please like the Facebook page, The Quaking Punch. Also, I'm on Twitter at The Quaking Punch. You can hit me up on Twitter or Facebook, in the YouTube comments, any way you want. Let's really get into this. Let's see if we can make this deck work, because I'm not gonna lie, Garchomp is probably one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. When I first got into like competitive battling for the VGC side was in 2014, and Garchomp was like king of that meta. And I just, I will never forget like having Garchomp on every team. I love Garchomp. It'll never not be one of my favorite Pokemon. Like, I love Dragon type Pokemon. And of the Dragon type, my two favorite are Garchomp and Salamence. Always have been, and they always will be. So when I saw this card, naturally, it's like, I got to make it work. And, we're going to try. We're going to do it. We're going to get it done. And in case you don't know what Garchomp's ability is because you missed it, here, if you attack with the fighting energy, you can attach an energy cover discard pile to one of your Pokemon. Really nice for getting back your special energies, and then bite off one shot EXs, 80 plus 20 with the strong, or 20 with the fighting. So if you haven't watched any of my Garchomp videos, go back and watch them, because I didn't really get too into the deck in this video. This is just to kind of show you guys the build and see. For future Mondays, we will go over decks in more detail. And then, I'll actually have a list written out, and then I'll build the deck in front of you guys, basically. For this week's video, I kind of just wanted to touch on an old video we had, and then we'll see how it works. But I really, really, really like this build so far. So please tell me in the comments if you guys have anything that you'd like to change, and we will have a very constructive conversation about the deck, and hopefully some good can come away with that. And maybe it'll be a deck that we play for states. Who knows? But thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I know this was a really quick video today, but that's really what you can expect from Mondays. Mondays, you can expect something like this, and then battle videos throughout the week. All right. Well, thanks a lot, guys, for hanging out today. You have a good rest of your day.